Hey everyone, welcome to a video that I wasn't really planning on doing, but I don't play a lot of ACC at all these days. That's for a variety of reasons. I don't enjoy the force feedback. Through my Fanatec CSW 2.5, it's particularly dead and lifeless for the most part. Can't really feel what the car's doing. I don't enjoy the curb physics either, how the cars react, very random at times. Braking mechanics just feels off, and as we get to one of my biggest gripes with the game is definitely the setup hacks. It's something you sort of have to know, unfortunately, with this game. But I have been getting back into it recently. A little bit of content has dropped that I've really enjoyed. Obviously, one of that being Nordschleife, fantastic version of the circuit, my favourite racetrack in the world. They've done a great job with that. Also, during the week, they've dropped the Ford Mustang GT3 as a free content through Steam. And I'm a huge Mustang fan, so once I saw that, I had to get on there and have a go at my favourite racetrack and my favourite car. So previously I was running some laps. I used the Porsche when Nordschleife first came out. It was doing very average laps, 8 minutes 26 I think was around my best. So certainly I'm not an alien. I was fast enough on ACC back in the day to be sort of top 5 competitive in my league, but definitely nothing outrageous. I got the lap times down in the Mustang when it first came out, about 8:22 was my best. Just using my usual setup tweaks that I do to most cars. But I always just felt there was, a bit more to get. I know Nordschleife fairly well, and just wasn't particularly happy with how the car was handling here. So I started trawling through YouTube and looking at some of the setups that guys had posted on their channel, and saw a very common theme. A lot of the drivers had traction control turned off, which I was surprised at. But I thought, they're just better drivers than me. They can probably handle the TC being off, but then the comments as well in those videos were just flooded with people mentioning TC off being a bit of a thing, especially since the version 1.9 came out for ACC. And obviously not something you would normally do in a GT3 car, in a GT3 game, as these cars are engineered with big aero, traction control, ABS, and in real life these cars would absolutely use those things. So it's quite weird to have to turn that sort of stuff off or down. And I don't think it would happen in real life. Maybe in a qualifying situation you would get that, but I can't imagine it being a regular thing, certainly not something I've really heard of. But unfortunately it's one of those things with ACC, you got to add it to the list of setup hacks that you sort of need to know. I think most people know the bump and rebound hack, the negative toe and camber hack as well, which again, if you trawl through any of the online setups, you'll see that's quite a common theme no matter what the car, and that sort of tells you that it is a bit of a hack because it's not a car specific thing. I've seen it on everything from Porsches, McLarens, this Ford Mustang. It seems to happen with pretty much every car, so it's obviously a thing that you need to do an ACC to really get a fantastic lap time out of it. So, and now we have this traction control OP, whatever you call it, meta setup hack, where you turn the traction control off, and from what I've read in some of the comments, it just seems the way the traction control works with the tyre physics in the 1.9 update, it gives you a better lap time, and I certainly was able to confirm that. I said 8:22 previously, I was doing very consistently in the Mustang, but pretty much on my first clean lap I did the 8:19, so 3 seconds faster on this first clean lap than I've ever been, and it didn't feel hard as well. The car was definitely predictable and stable, and you just got to get it out of your mind that you've got TC off. I think a lot of it's mind over matter. The car does not feel really any different to drive than when I had it on with traction control on, which I used to run it at about 3, and I think it goes up to about 11 in the Mustang. So TC3 was my usual setting, and turn TC off, and once you get out of your brain that it's off and the car feels completely fine, it's got aero, it's got weight, so it'll make its way through the corner. It's a little bit skatey in that sector 1, that very tight first section, but as you can see from my feet input there on the foot cam, some of the throttle inputs are quite aggressive coming out of the corners, so it's not something you really need to worry about. It just allows you to, I don't know, it just seems to kick in way too much, the TC. And once you sort of forget about it, you just drive the car very, very normally. It certainly seems to be a thing with a lot of the fast lap times. You take note of their HUD, you'll see the TC is definitely off. It's a bit of a shame. So between the three main tweaks being the TC, the bump rebound thing, and the toe and camber, between all those, it's again, you've really got to know those hacks are there, unfortunately. I'm sure some of these are very, very common knowledge. You can see they're coming out of the carousel quite aggressive on the throttle. And I also feel I can go a lot faster as well. I got that 3 seconds immediately, and I think as I got more confidence, I did push a few more laps, and I was up even further on a couple of laps, but binned it, and that was not due to the TC, it was due to my just some poor driving, just over driving the car, especially through the second carousel. So there's definitely, I think you can get, for me, another at least 2 seconds out of it, so you'd be up to 5 seconds by the time we actually get more confident and drive the lap even better. There's definitely a couple of spots there I've run a little bit wide, or just caught a little bit of grass, a little bit of oversteer. The car is definitely more oversteery than on TC, but it's just so controllable and so stable. You very, very quickly get used to it, especially through this section here. It's feels really nice with the TC off. You have a lot of control with the car. So once you get that confidence up for me, I could definitely grab another couple of seconds for sure. And I have been up by a second or so already on previous laps I did after this, and just ended up binning it, so the potential is definitely there. I think it's something to not be scared of. Just jump in, turn off the TC, and I think after a lap or two, you'll definitely see how the car feels, and you'll get it out of your mind that TC is off, and you'll be able to drive the car fairly normally. Really only in the super low speed corners that you might see in there, a little bit of a kick out there. That was just because I hit the carousel at the wrong part. That wasn't anything to do with the TC. I was just placing the car in the wrong part of the circuit. But again, super aggressive on the throttle, and nothing particularly goes wrong. So I'd say definitely worth jumping on and turning off TC if it's not something you're used to. Give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? You're just going to press escape and restart anyway, but it's a lot more control and a lot more stability, which is unfortunate, because I said it's not something, all these hacks are not things that teams would do in real life, but unfortunately with the physics engine of ACC, they're things that do seem to work, and not too detrimental to your tyre life as well. I can certainly race with these settings, is the point. They are a qualifying thing as well. I have raced in the past with these sort of settings, and it's a very little detriment to your tyre wear. So as always guys, thank you very much for watching. As we get 8:19.6 there, and 3 seconds quicker than we have been.